Hello, welcome back. In this playlist, we will try to learn more about DP-700 exam related question and answer. Now, if you want to join our paid course, you could find the link in our description as well as in the comment. And in this course, you will find more than 90 plus DP-700 exam related questions and video explanation. And you will get lifetime access and course completion certificate at the end of the course. And the course comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. And if you don't want to pay or enroll into the paid course, still you could support our channel by subscribing and liking. So let's go to this playlist and you could find many similar videos inside our channel. So let's go to our second video. Now let's check few more questions. At Step 2C Corp, the data engineering team is building a large scale ingestion pipeline to load marketing campaign data from Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 into Fabric Lakehouse. So we are just designing a pipeline. The files are large, over 15 millions of record each, and current pipeline take too long to complete. So this is the scenario. It's taking a lot of time to complete. And our senior data engineer need to improve the performance without rewriting the entire pipeline or increasing the cost significantly. She is considering setting in the pipeline data activity. Which option should she use to improve the performance effectively? So we have a pipeline and we need to improve the performance without significantly increasing the cost. So which option we should choose? And the right answer is option C. We could increase the degree of parallelism to allow multi-thread processing. And other options are not relevant. So we should try to increase the parallelism to fix these issues or to rectify these issues. Now let's check the next question. Now this question is asking us to fix some issues or enable fault tolerance. So the question is, the analytics team at Step 2C Corp run a daily integration job that pulls sales data from third-party system into Fabric Lakehouse. Occasionally the input contain bad record like malformed dates or missing mandatory fields, which cause the pipeline to fail completely. Rahul, the pipeline developer, is asked by his manager to make the system resilient without skipping the entire dataset. So what should you do to fix this kind of issues? So we have a system which copies some data, but the issue is sometimes we might receive malformed dates or missing mandatory fields, which cause the pipeline to fail. So how you will fix this kind of issues? So the right answer is enable fault tolerance to skip bad record and log error for review. So by using this option, you could avoid pipeline getting failed. So it helps us to load good record and it skip the bad record. Now let's check few more questions. A junior data engineer at Step 2C Corp noticed their pipeline fail due to connection error when querying with a cloud database. Thinking this failure is due to timeout issue, they increase the timeout settings in copy data from 2 hours to 12 hours. So we have a pipeline which is getting failed. So in order to fix the issue, we extend the timeout. So we extended the timeout from 2 hours to 12 hours. But still it's not fixing the issue. So why it is not solving the problem? And the right answer is option C. Timeout only delay failure. It doesn't fix the transit issue. So in order to fix the issue, you need to fix the issue. It's not going to fix by just extending the timeout time. So timeout just define how long an activity wait before failing. But if there is an issue, you need to fix it. Just increasing the timeout will not solve the issue. Now let's check entirely a different question. The reporting team at Step 2C Corp is using Power Query to transform customer data from a SQL database. The transformation are complex, joining, filtering and calculating metrics. Performance is poor and the team suspect the query are running entirely in Fabric. Which option should they focus on? So we have a system which is pulling some data from a SQL database, and we have some transformation logic. The Power Query is performing some kind of transformation, and the performance of the system is very bad. Now we want to improve the performance, and we suspect the query are running entirely in Fabric. What optimization technique you could use in this scenario? We could use option B, query folding, push transformation to source system. And in this scenario, we could use query folding, push transformation logic back to the source system, which will improve the performance. So we should try this option. Now let's check few more questions. At Step 2 C Corp, Shabina, a senior data engineer, is responsible for designing a data pipeline that transforms sensitive financial transaction from a SFTP server to Fabric Lakehouse. The compliance team has mandated end-to-end data encryption during transformation to meet regulatory standard. Which setting must Shabina ensure to enable to fulfill this requirement? So we have some data transformation and we want to encrypt the data at transit. So we need to use enable encrypt in transit for all data movement activity. By using this feature, you could enable end-to-end encryption during transaction. So encryption in transit ensure that data is protected from unauthorized access while transfer between source and destination. So we should use this feature. Now let's check few more questions. Now this question is asking about data security. Andam Raphael, a security analyst at Step 2 C Corp, noticed that several employees in the marketing department can access sensitive column in the financial reporting dataset, including profit margin and vendor agreement. To comply with the internal data governance rules, and I want to restrict access to this column based on user identity while allowing the same dataset to be reused. To comply with the internal data governance rule, and I want to restrict access to this column based on user identity while allowing the same dataset to be reused. Which feature should be used or implemented? So the right answer is use option D, apply object level security or OLS. So by using this feature, you could hide table or a column from your user. So you could hide sensitive data from your column, or you could entirely hide a table using this option. And this is perfect option for this scenario. So we should try to use it. Now let's check the next question. And our question is, during a routine review, Shabina observed that some developer at Step 2 C Corp are accessing test pipeline using anonymous access settings, especially when testing financial data pipeline. She raised a concern with the DevOps team to address this issue and enforce secure access practice. Which of the following is the best recommendation for this scenario? And we should disable anonymous access and use identity-based authentication, which is the right option to solve this kind of issues. So anonymous access is insecure, especially environment handling sensitive data. So we should disable anonymous access and allow access using identity-based option. Now assume you are working for Step 2 C Corp, or Andam Raphael is working for Step 2 C Corp. At Step 2 C Corp, the data platform team is worried that implementing encryption will slow down the pipeline transferring large volume of financial data daily. They consult Andam Raphael to find a solution that offers security without sacrificing performance. So which option should you use? The option enable encryption in transit, which has minimum impact on performance. So we should not disable encryption. So it's not going to impact. Definitely it will impact, but the performance impact is less. So we should not disable the encryption, especially if the data is sensitive.
So option C is the right answer. Encryption in transit in Fabric is optimized for performance and does not significantly degrade pipeline speed. So in this lecture we gone through many questions and all these are important concepts. We could expect more complex questions based on the same concept. I have gone through very simple example, but the concept you could expect questions based on similar concept. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.